We have more Ohio State updates as there are two players visiting the program this weekend that we have to learn about, and we got to break them all down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Columbus Football 365. If you're an Ohio State football fan, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out a ton. But let's jump right into the news for today, coming from 11 Warriors. As it awaits an NFL draft decision from Max Klare, Ohio State is hosting another transfer tight end, bringing in former Northwestern tight end Hunter Welsing for a visit on Friday, one day after he entered the transfer portal, according to On3's Steve Wiltfong. Welsing caught 28 passes for 296 yards and 2 touchdowns last season at Northwestern, his first year as a starter after 5 years as a backup. A 7th-year senior, Welsing has one more year of eligibility. Now, let's take a look quickly. Going back, the Ohio State Buckeyes, for whatever reason, tight end is a position that we have decided is important to invest in the transfer portal. That is one of the two positions that we are investing in right now that fans may not have expected before the season started or before the transfer portal opened. The other position that we are investing time and resources in is the backup quarterback position. Again, questionable, but let's talk about what needs to be talked about in regard to this position. First of all, number one, most important decision that needs to be made regarding Ohio State's tight end room is, does Max Klare declare for the NFL draft or not? This is a tough video today, boys. He's currently being projected by NFL Mock Draft Database to be a 3rd-round draft pick. We can see on the screen right now, he has had some high points during the course of the season, but right now he is honestly at the lowest projection where he has been all season, being projected to come off the board at about pick 93 late in the 3rd round. If you don't know what NFL Mock Draft Database is, it is a website that takes into account mock drafts from all across the internet, averages them up, smacks an average rank on the guy. So it is telling us that Max Klare is viewed across the internet as a 3rd-round pick, a late 3rd-round pick. So this now creates the question, does Max Klare declare or not for the NFL draft? I can't answer that question. No one who isn't super close to the situation can answer that question for you. It depends on how much NIL money Ohio State is going to offer Max Klare. Of course, we want him to come back, but I can't sit here and as a fan and be like, oh, he should come back. Everyone should come back. He should do whatever is the correct thing for his future. The thing I want for Max Klare is I want in 10 years for him to look back at this decision and say, I made the right decision. That's what I want out of Max Klare. Of course, the fans, we want everyone to come back. We want people to never go to the NFL. We want you to stay 4 years. And if you're great, don't go to the NFL. Come back as a coach and help us out even more. That's selfishly what we want. But definitely want Max Klare to do what is best for him. But this guy coming in now, Hunter Welsing, was an honorable mention for all Big Ten at the tight end position. He is a do-it-all tight end. We already brought in a transfer from Ohio at the tight end position. The Ohio tight end transfer is going to be a backup reserve / blocking tight end. Hunter Welsing is the guy who projects as the starter should he transfer into the Ohio State Buckeyes program. Welsing putting up almost 300 yards this season. I know that the stats don't jump off the page, but tight ends really don't put up crazy numbers at the college football level, especially when you're coming from a lower ranked, or not ranked at all, a lower tier Big Ten program like Northwestern. But this guy is a dog on the honorable mentions for all Big Ten at the tight end position. So he is someone that we do have to be paying close attention to. But actually, I think we got a little bit more on him. Yep, we do. 6'3", 250 pounds, a tiny bit short for the NFL, but we're not playing in the NFL. We're playing college football. We like that height weight. Currently not ranked in the transfer portal according to 24/7 Sports. When he originally came out as a prospect, as a recruit, he was a 3-star recruit, rated an 84 overall, the 60th tight end in his class, and the 23rd highest ranked player coming out of Illinois, playing in Lake Zurich for his high school ball. That's who Hunter Welsing is. All around tight end. Should we sign him? Likely the starter for next year, but we're hoping Max Klare comes back. That's your big picture roundup for the Ohio State tight end position. We also have a backup. Let me talk about that as well. But The position that everyone is talking about is how much we have lost in the transfer portal at the wide receiver position. When your wide receivers coach, Brian Hartline, goes to USF as the head coach, the guys that he recruited aren't going to stick around. Makes a ton of sense. Ohio State now needs to backfill to fix this mistake, or it's not a mistake, but we got to fill that position back in. And let's look at what our insiders have from Scarlet and Gray. According to Rivals, the Buckeyes are getting ready to host 5-star wide receiver Monshun Sales. Sales is the second best receiver recruit in the country for 2027. Sales attends Lawrence North High School in Indianapolis and is listed at 6'5" and 195 pounds. He's a big target running down the field. Sales is someone who is wanted by programs all across the country. Adding him would certainly help the Buckeyes recover some of the talent that they have lost in the last week. Sales is someone who has range and can catch contested balls easily because of his size. This is Cortez Hankton's first real challenge as the new wide receivers coach for the Buckeyes. He has to convince Sales that the program will still be able to develop wide receivers at the same rate that they did with Hartline in charge of the wide receiver room. So, Monshun Sales want to make... All right, we got it. We're good. We got it. So, first of all, someone, if you know how to pronounce this guy's name for a fact, please put it in the comments, because the research I did, every video that I could pull up on this guy, people are disagreeing on how to pronounce his first name, but I would like to pronounce the kid's first name correctly when I'm able to acquire that information. But diving into his prospect profile, 6'5", 195 pounds. That's absolutely amazing. 24/7 Sports has him as a 5-star recruit, the number 1 wide receiver recruit in the country for the 2027 class, and the number 5 recruit nationally in the class. The scary thing is he's currently the number 1 recruit in Indiana. I always say the first step to being a good recruiting school and overall a good college football program, you have to recruit well in your own state. Indiana, they're pretty good. I don't know if you've paid attention to college football over the last 2 seasons, or, especially, maybe the last night. Indiana's really, really good. Why would a prospect go anywhere other than Indiana right now? Beats me. But of course, Ohio State has plenty of things to offer, but if I'm him, you get to stay in your own state and go to an absolutely dominant program that is dominated with 7 4-star recruits and 0 5-star recruits. If I'm an Indiana prospect, I'm looking at that and going, what could they do with a 5-star recruit? What could Kurt Signetti possibly have cooked up for someone even better? I'm looking at that and saying, oh yeah, you guys are good, but you haven't seen me yet. So that's a little bit scary. Indiana will certainly become involved with this player down the road. They're a little bit busy right now, but the 24/7 Sports composite rankings, which is an average of Rivals on 3, 24/7, and ESPN's rankings, has him ranked number 9 nationally, the number 2 wide receiver in the country, and still the number 1 player in Indiana, hailing from Indianapolis. But this is a guy that would be a perfect way to continue the wide receiver U dominance. We got Chris Henry Jr. coming in next year. Chris Henry Jr. reaffirmed his commitment to the Buckeyes even after we lost Brian Hartline to USF. We got to make sure we continue the tradition and keep on finding ways to bring in elite wide receiver talent into the program. Monshun Sales, hopefully that meeting or that visit goes very well today and we are able to secure a commitment from this player. Could be amazing. If we get Monshun Sales and the 5-star defensive end that we already have for the 2027 class, this could be an absolutely special recruiting class for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and I can't wait to see it. That's what I got for this video. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video all the way through. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and go Buckeyes.